Hi! It's finally time for me to share a video on the Lime Grocery Journal, which was an experiment that I started. And this one took me a while because I went through a lot of different things with it. I did a lot of different stuff after I assembled the book, and I might talk about that in this video, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's closed with an elastic band, white thread elastic band, with these little cardboard buttons that I made out of some of the paper bags with glaze and also some cardstock from Popsicle boxes. And all it is thread fed through 2 holes here and then through 1 hole on the outside and knotted. So that's how that worked. But what this is made of is a piece of green cardboard from a Link-Yo device, and I glued on these scrap pieces from a Whole Foods grocery bag, and I glazed them with Liquitex varnish for shine. And then the back side has handcrafted stamped on it. And I used a I think it's called baker's twine, but I made this one myself. I wound the green and white together and made them exposed for interest. So within, I used parts of the grocery bag to make the inner covers, and also used Liquitex varnish on them, and same goes to the back, including this flap here, which was part of the box, so I kept it on there as closure. And I used a variety of different paper bags to create my pages, most of them Whole Foods, but also one section of Trader Joe's bags, and with all the scraps I created tags for that. So front page here is just the bottom of one of the bags, and here is a little tag made from parts of brown paper, and this is actually backed with paper handles that have been unfolded from the bags. So everything in here is pretty much scraps and parts of the bag. And on the inside here, I made a pocket on the other side with a hole spot, and I made a tag within out of some pizza box and Popsicle box tabs, and that just slips in there like so. It's kind of a tight fit for some reason, but that's just how it goes in. But I got a blank page, and then I made these little pockets here to cover up some damage on the bags with some of the paper. And these were fun. These were made from Trader Joe's Fruit Flows Lime Popsicle boxes, and I made the tags using that, and also using the lines for that. And those just kind of snugly slip in there. And then I made these tags out of pizza boxes, scraps of paper bag, texture, Popsicle box tabs, like that, for journaling spots within the pockets. Here's one side of the paper bag, and then here's another pocket with part of the bag, and these were also made from parts of a Popsicle box for writing on or doing whatever with. I suspect with some of that brown paper handle, and same goes for that. So those can just go in there for fun. And over here I have more of these. Yeah. And these. And some wonky ones which you could add like a title to or whatever. But I really had fun trying to figure out how to use every bit of a material. Here's a page. Here's where the center of the signature is, and knotted off. And there's another page. And then I did this and added some little flowers to it on the back. Added a little bit of paper that's been punched. And here. And here I have one of these tags and one of these, which was made from scraps, and one of these, which sometimes you have to be careful with putting them in because there's like a lip inside the bag. But anyways, here's another side, and the other side with the little pockets and a place to write, and also some of those line tags like so, which are blank on the back. And on these I actually punched a little hole and added some thread. These are my first experiment. And then in here I have some bags made from more of that pizza box. So here's one with a little bit decorating, and then I actually just left the pizza box as is on the one side because I thought the pictures were interesting. And then here's the other side with the tags, and that kind of goes with the whole grocery theme. Whole Foods. I like those pages because it fits just within, and I had to cut it in such a way that it did. And then here is another page with one of those very large tags. And then on this side there's just, you know, the backing, and you can tuck a tag here if you wanted to. Then on this page we have Trader Joe's stuff, and that's where it starts getting interesting. There are some tags in here, and part of the bag's decoration. And here are some tags made from scraps. And I also made extras for this, which I will get into after I'm done. But on this side I have a teapot on this side, and then I made this like full tuck-in piece of Popsicle box that you can take out and write on, and it just tucks in there and folds over. And I have a pocket here, and these are some of the tags I did. And this part with a tag in it, which these are all done by hand, and I inked the edges with green and brown. There's a blank page, and then the other side here, and I put in a printout of one of the collages I made from scraps. So you get this, and I have that included. And here's the center of that signature. And then I have lots of little tags in this one, apparently. That page. There's this tag, and there's these tags with, oops, backing. And then there's this tag, and also one of these weird ones that's been cut at an angle. And those were kind of just all slipped in there for fun. And then there's a pocket here, some legs, and two smaller tags. This one has a boot on it. Yeah. And then here's the other side, and I have another one of those printouts of a collage piece that I did. And there's a pocket here with some goodies, which again I will go over in a bit. And here are some pages, and here and then there is this page which has an airplane on it, and more goodies that I'll go over. I used a ball canning jar box for making tags because I thought those would be kind of interesting, and they're green, so they kind of match what I was going for color-wise. There's the other side. And there's this side with lots of tags too. This is the remainder parts of the ball canning jar bag, or a box, and I sort of just put these together and stuck them in there for color. And then there's this little tiny tag here that says something, but I don't know if you can see it. And this. And that. And also a homemade one with like a little piece of paper assembled into a moon shape. And then here is one that's really fun because I made little trading cards out of parts of that Popsicle box. So you're in luck with the lime and also that part. Those stuck in there. I just did this page plain, and I folded over the edges and glued them for writing on. And again, you're in luck cards here. And here's where I really went crazy with those tags. I made these pockets that are doubled with the bottom part and then a second part. And let's see, there's this tag decorated with little strips. Some parts of the Popsicle box for writing on. And then I have all these included. The smaller lime tags, which are kind of neat. One of the smaller tags here, and citrus tag. This tag, and that tag. And then that is the end of the book with another Whole Foods thing. But there are also the goodies. And what I've included is I've made 2 little bags that hold stuff out of scraps of paper bag from the Trader Joe's bag collection. So, and inside these I've included some things. This one has a cider and peach on it with a little top cut out of it. And within I have included some stamped pieces of brown paper for decorating. Some strips of the Popsicle box for adding as titles or collage or using as tags or whatever else for fun. Another small strip stamped with green leaves. This is just a little tiny piece of paper that's been punched, and it's for just adding in as a note piece or a title place. I also used some of the tabs from the Popsicle box to create actual page tabs by gluing a strip of paper in the middle and joining 2 together so that it can fold over an edge and basically become a tab like that by gluing it, and then you can write something on it. So that's what you can do with box tabs. A lot of times you can turn them into book tabs if you want to. And then I have this one, which is kind of one of my favorites, with the lobster on it and a fold-over flap, and then you have asparagus on the back. And inside of here, I've included the smaller goodies that I really worked hard on making during that. I'll show you in a minute. Okay. I made these little tiny cardboard buttons out of some of the Popsicle box that I used, and they're backed, and I punched some holes in. They're doubled, and then I shaved the sides with an emery board, and I glazed this one because it was decorated with a paper bag. Those were some of those things that I worked on as part of using up scraps. And then I made some shakers using stamping, gel pen, coloring, marker. I have one of a lizard and a turtle. Filled the bags with some washi tape, and inside they are filled with leftover paper goodies that were scraps that I just snipped up into smaller pieces to make into confetti for the book. And I made a video about how I did that and what all you can do with scraps. And the final things I've had in here are pieces like these, using tabs, scraps of brown paper that have been stamped, and basic sewing twine. I made little banners that dangle and could be put in a book or used for whatever purpose, and I just had fun doing these as part of using up my scraps on the desk. And here's a neat one. So, little banners using some green twine and black. And then there's also the larger one with these included. And those just kind of all went together, and I put them in the bag for fun. So, I discovered a lot of things of what you can do with scraps and, you know, junk pieces and whatnot. And then there's one more thing I did. I took this, and I made some printouts just as extras. After I did some experiments with the scraps, I made trading cards with some of the Popsicle boxes and stamping. So I made these just as fill-in for, you know, just for fun, that you can just use to write on, and they just go in there. And these are the stamps were from, I think, Inkadinka-Doo or something like that. I can't remember the name of the company exactly, but that's what I did with those. And I used Liquitex marker to color them. And then I've included 2 sets of those little ones. And then I made some stamps out of really tiny scraps, including white scraps of paper, and then I made copies of those because I wanted to keep the originals. But I made ones like this, and they all kind of remind me of an islandy theme. I stamped one like that, and I have one like this. It says Thai, an archway. I basically just fake stamped an eye stamped thing with a little symbol on it. It was also from a scrap bag. And then I had like building, like a little temple. And those are pretty much all the basics that I went through, and I made 2 copies of those too and cut them out with postal edge scissors. And I've included those in the book because I was just having too much fun finding ways of using up scraps and, you know, stuff like that. So this is the Lime Grocery Journal. Thank you for watching.